Hello everyone! Shall we do some drafting? So, last time I played Vanar, the hope of getting lots of Hailstone prisons, and I got, I think, 0 Hailstone prisons. This time, we don't even have the option of playing Vanar. No bait and switch for us. I'm kind of interested in exploring Magmar a bit more. I think Magmar have historically been very inconsistent in Gauntlet, and I think that's still the case here. But I'm interested to see how the new patch from a couple of weeks ago shakes things up. Well, this is a good start, isn't it? We've got a Silithar, which is obviously a premium 2-drop, and a Hollow Growth Creeper, which is mediocre. We can take a Saber Spine and a Plasma Storm. Plasma Storm does clear out Ethereal Obelisks and 2-drops pretty well, but I think it's a lot worse now than it was, because it doesn't kill things like Ironcliff Guardian. And then over here we've got Elucidator, pretty decent. Ethereal Obelisk, pretty decent. And Storm Aretha, which I've not played with in its new form. I mean, I feel like this card is not good, but obviously if you do get to attack with it, it's pretty versatile. Sort of a little bit of a... I mean, it's like Megantor, but it doesn't have Rush, which means it's infinitely worse. But, some percentage of the time you'll get away with it, and then it'll be good. I think I want this because I think Elucidator is pretty alright, and Ethereal Obelisk is very good. I think the Silithar is not really worth the Growth Keeper. And both of these cards are kind of mediocre. So let's start with this. Well, that's got a Warbeast in it, and a Flash. And then here's some other crap. That was the easiest Gauntlet pick of my life. Right, what else we got? Earthsphere, Plasma Storm, Dagger, Kiri. Gonna go with probably not on that one. Kujata, First Sword of a Crane. I like this, although we do already have 2 6-drops. But we have a Flash, and Kujata obviously helps with that. Or we could take a Healing Mystic and a Colossus. Honestly, healing is kind of at a premium, right? Healing is very important. I mean, maybe not this important, but pretty important. And I think Colossus is pretty strong. So I'm happy to take this. Another Healing Mystic and a Natural Selection. That's fantastic. Tremor, Young Silithar, Deathstrike Seal. Deathstrike Seal is kind of cool. Pretty stupid with Storm Aretha and Warbeast. So there's some interesting nonsense there. Or just putting it on like a random Dervish is pretty good. This could be strong in the deck actually, Deathstrike. It does mean picking a Tremor, which is unfortunate. Plasma Storm, I think I have the same concerns as before. We got a Sojo, which is like not a particularly great card in 2-draw. So I think I'm just going to take this. Always happy to have 2 Healing Mystics. Very happy to have a Natural Selection as well. Alright, we have Amplification, Duelyst. I don't rate Amplification at all, but I do like Duelyst some amount. Flamewing, Fractal Replication. We have the Wombo combo with Warbeast. We actually have Flash, Elucidator, Fractal. To be honest, maybe that's worth it. Obviously, we've only got 1 copy of each. So... But like, we'll be able to put that together a certain amount of time. And it is... I guess it does also hurt us a lot, because... I presume... Right, so they changed Elucidator to nerf this combo, right? So I presume when you copy the Elucidator, it takes the 2 damage again, and you take 2, maybe? Not really sure. And what have we got over here? We've got a Planar Scout Flash and a Sworn Avenger. I like Sworn Avenger, but I don't want to Planar Scout in my deck. We've already got a Flash. Flash is very good, but if I'm running 2 Flashes, I want to make sure I've got some serious payoff for it. So I think I will take this. It's fine to have as a speculative pick. We can just cut the cards if we don't like it. Vet Silithar, Natural Selection. That's going to be hard to beat. Swamp Entangler, Earthsphere, Tremor, Serpenti, Dragonlark. Well, that's 5 cards that don't do anything. Primordial Gaze of Spirit Harvest. That's quite exciting. Excuse me. Venomtoth Egmorph or Alkyd Lawmaster Egmorph. Both good. Is this a deck where Spirit Harvester is going to benefit me or the opponent more? So it's not great with Obelisk. It's not great with Elucidator. We have quite a few low toughness minions. It's pretty awkward with Veteran Silithar. I don't really like Spirit Harvester nowadays. Like, it's a weird card because it's quite strong, but it's so bad if you're ahead. And I always play to be ahead. Like, that's just my playstyle. Like, I don't want to be behind on board and then try and come back with the Spirit Harvester. It's nice to have the option to do that. But I much prefer having the ability to stay ahead with my removal instead of try and stabilize. Because otherwise, those cards are kind of dead draws or can backfire on you when you just need to, like, okay, I have to do something this time, I want to run this out. That said, I do like a Primordial Gazer as well. But I don't mind having the first Agmorph. Like, right now we have no hard removal. So the question is, do I want a Venom Torth or an Alcuin? We have a Flash, we have two natural selections. Natural selection with Alcuin is pretty decent. But I quite like Venom Torth. I think it's just a decent card. Plasma Storm, second Mechanical, Swamp Entangler. I think I will probably take these cards just so I can have a War Beast. Or here's 2/2-drops. Awesome crap. To be fair, Metallurgist Ghost Links is not bad. We are, how many? Probably about 17 total. We must be 5 or 6 buckets in, so we're coming up on the halfway mark. We currently have 3 good 2-drops and a Blood Tier Alchemist. I think I'm not so pressured that I need more of these. I think I'm going to take this. Obviously the Swamp Entangler is garbage. And the Plasma Storm is probably not amazing. But it's probably honestly worth it because Mechanical is so good. What have we got over here? Is that a Keeper of the Veil? Yeah. Okay. So we've got Colossus, Komodo Scavenger. Don't think I want a second Colossus, and the Scavenger is that exciting. Owl-based Phalanxar. I did want to find out how good Phalanxar was, so I could pick this just for science. But I'd probably end up cutting them anyway. Over here we've got Spirit Harvester, Keeper of the Veil, and Mind Warper. Not super into any of those. What synergies do we have for Keeper? Pretty much nothing, just Healing Mystic, really. Yeah, let's take the double Phalanxars. We can play them if we end up not having enough 2-drops, and we can cut them otherwise. So we've got a Silithar Elder, that's a very good thing to flash out, and another Phalanxar. Artifact Hunter, Swamp Entangler, Repulsive Beast. I think that's an easy pass. Blood Tier, Golem, Metallurgist, Earth Sphere. Okay, so we've got 2 Healing Mystics already, so I'm not desperate for this Earth Sphere. But Earth Sphere with 2/2-drops is like, you know, that's fine. To be clear, I know Earth Sphere is a card that has seen a lot of play. It is 4 mana that doesn't affect the board. And without things like Varth's Bloodborne spell allowing you to trade your life total for your opponent's cards, Earth Sphere is less effective. So I'd much rather play healing that game attached to other things. Bodies, usually. So I think in this case I'll take the Silithar and the Phalanxar. I will gladly... Like, this probably means we'll cut the other Phalanxars, but I'm happy to play big boy. Oh my goodness, double Metamorphosis. Now this is making me wish we'd pick those Spirit Harvesters, but not really. The card is just fantastic on its own, you know? A Piercing Mantis, a Sunstone Templar, and a Greater Fortitude. This is obviously not the same post-nerf. But it does still kill people with Elucidator and War Beast. That's kind of good. And then there's some random 2-drops that aren't very strong. Right, we've only got the one. The Fortitude obviously goes with the Piercing Mantis quite well, but we've only got the one buff, I think. Yes, looks like that's the case. The problem is, I've not found Metamorphosis to be that effective. I think I'll take this anyway. It is handy. It's just like, we can build a control deck. If we can find some more big bombs, then like 2 Metamorphoses in an Earth Sphere gives us quite the foundation for a control deck. Speaking of which, here's some big stuff. Oh, what have we got here? I do like a second Flash as well. Silithar, Sarlacc, Storm Arthur isn't terrible either. Like, obviously the Storm Arthur is not great. We can maybe cut the first one. But the Sarlacc is surprisingly useful, and then the young Silithar is fantastic. But I do think I just want this. Brightmost Golem, Deathblighter, Fractal Wrap. Like, I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna play Metamorphosis into 6 drops as much as possible. Maybe this is too many 6 drops, especially as it's 2 draw. But I'm interested in finding out. Okay, Elucidate and Mind Steal. That's much more aggressive than we're going, so I think we can ignore that. Dietide Frenzy Araki Headhunter or Hank Hart Araki Headhunter? We are lacking in buffs to make Hank Hart really scary, but he's already got 2 attacks, so he's not too bad anyway. We can always, we've got a few more picks to try and get some. Does it say heals or heals you? Must be just heals, right? I know it used to just heal himself, but I don't know if they've changed the card at all. I think I want this over the Dietide. I think Dietide Frenzy can be very strong. And we do have an Elucidator, which maybe tips the scales the other way. Yeah, you know what? Repulsor Fortitude. Vetsilithos Sand Burrower Earthsphere Tremor. None of these are especially exciting. I think I'm going to take this because it just gives us some... No, that's a lie. We've got 2 Metamorphoses in the pool. We're not really in this Greater Fortitude kind of space. I'll just take the good stuff cards. Divine Bond. We've got an Albi's Sage. And Colossus Brightmoss Golem. That's kind of it. Oh wait, there's a Vindicator Kujata Colossus pile. Never mind. Ooh, Bone Reaper. Sarlacc Phalanxar, Plasma Storm, Twin Fang. Healing Mystic Bone Reaper. I mean, this is exactly what we want. More 2-drops with healing. More AoE. More big idiots. Another Bone Reaper. Primordial Gazer. Oh, looks like we're going to pick some Planar Scouts, that's for sure. Because I think these cards are not worth it. So I want Bone Reaper, Primordial Gazer, or Young Silithar Elder. Honestly, I think I want this lot. I think Gazer is kind of good. Even post-nerf. It's just a nice card. And I think Silithar Elder's strong, but Bone Reaper is very strong. Right. What are we cutting from this nonsense? We don't have to play our scouts, that's a bug. We can cut the pile with 2 Phalanxars. Let's start with that. Right. Do we want all 3 Healing Mystics? Probably yes, if we can. We can cut this Eggmorph, because we've got 2 Metamorphoses to do basically the same thing. But better. Well, better-ish. They obviously cost more, but... I think we could consider cutting this pile. I know we have the Warbeast there, but we've got 2 Bone Reapers and a Dietide Frenzy as well. So running these cards that aren't super great is maybe not worth the payoff of the Warbeast. Which is very disciplined of me, I must say. This pile we can probably cut. We don't need 2 Fractals. We don't massively need this Bright Moss Golem. And we certainly don't need the extra 6-drop that prevents us from healing. So we'll cut this pile. Yeah, I probably should cut this pile, shouldn't I? Like, again, we're not lacking in AoE, and Metamorphosis is more flexible than Plasma Storm, so I think we can cut this. So we could cut this to get rid of the Planar Scout. I think, honestly, our curve's quite high, so having something we can just discard to draw a different card is probably alright. Okay, let's just have a look through these piles and see if there's anything that's not necessary. So we could cut this other Fractal, actually. We do have the Flash Elucidator combo, but it's, you know, there's only 1 copy of each card. It's not super exciting. I guess Fractaling a Bone Reaper or a Warbeast... Oh, Warbeast probably won't live, but a Bone Reaper might live through the turn. Silithar Elder might live through the turn. That is pretty exciting. Colossus, feasibly. I don't know. We don't have a lot of 4-drops, so actually the Young Flamewing has some value there as well. And Fractal is kind of a big endgame play if we can set it up. Similarly, I think I want the Silithar Elder enough to keep it. Probably is this pile, isn't it? But we sort of got this weird hole in our curve where there's not a lot of 3s or 4s. But I don't know if that's really a problem, because we have a Kujata, we have a Flash, and we have enough 2-drops that we can sort of spend cards, you know, early on. So, yeah, I think we can accept that. Yeah, alright. I might regret that decision, we'll see. I think using Metamorphosis to kill a 5-drop is just fine. Average rates in minute 44. Oof. What do we make of this deck? It's probably okay. It looks a little clunky. I can see us getting run over. We do have the triple healing Mystic to help stabilize a little bit. Wait, that was meant to be Lilith? It was Maeve from the art. This is very emblematic of this deck, I think. I actually might keep this. It obviously expends a card, but it can deny a mana tile. Healing Mystic is good. Blood Siren. Oh, my attack. Oh, damn it. I think I will... I'm going to make a clever play. I'm going to put this here. So my opponent can't kill this from where they're standing, but it can trade with the Blood Siren. And if they move the Blood Siren into the middle, it can take this tile. Perhaps I should have put it here to threaten this tile, actually. Because they can't actually take this one themselves. Oh goodness, that's a turn. I can maybe... I can reach it with the Elucidator, actually. So that's good. Yeah, that works out. And then I can also play this Healing Mystic mid. Let's get rid of that. Bone Reaper. Okay, so if I play Elucidator, where's a good place to position it? I can put it here or here, basically. I guess further down is slightly better because it reduces my opponent's options for coming up here if they want to hit it with their face. So we... Oh, I need to play this Healing Mystic first, don't I? Let's not mess that up. Bit of a shame. Play both my healing units and then immediately play a thing that deals me damage, but that's fine. It gets rid of Sworn Avenger, so I'll take it. Go away. And hey look, we traded our Planar Scout for something. I'm a genius. Right, how forward do I position here? I do have this Bone Reaper, which is pretty good at cleaning up stuff. Do I mind if my opponent attacks me, given that I'm low on healing? I think I mind a bit, but I don't mind as much as I mind being over here, so I think I'm going to come on in. I'm not going to hit them, though. Don't need to give them more Wraithlings that I'm easily able to clear. Obelisk is kind of a good draw. And then Kujata, obviously, maybe useful, but probably getting replaced. Anoint Sorrow Assassin. Okay, that's fine. Gazer does kill this Night Sorrow Assassin. Is that worth it? Probably, right? My opponent can trade into both my minions, is the only problem. But I can play this Obelisk as well. Yeah, I think let's go for that. So I think I want to put this... I'm going to have this in the corner. I could protect my Obelisk if I really wanted to. I think here is good, actually. Because they're obliged to... I mean, they can use removal on this, but I don't really care. If they want to attack my minions for free, they're obliged to stay near the Obelisk. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's the thought. I forgot to check whether my opponent had any things, but it looks like they don't. Breath of the Unborn. On the one hand, that is bad. On the other hand, it's not really, is it? Clean. Oh, that's pretty good. That's got to be better than Bone Reaper at this stage of the game. Just going to get rid of this now. So I could play this for mana efficiency, and it clears the Wraith thing. Or I can play this and hope they can't kill it. Mana efficiency is so valuable. This card is so annoying. So this dies to Ritual Banishing or like Shadow. Actually, yeah, it does the Shadow Reflection. That's probably worth considering. Let's just do this. It's not the most Bone Reaper value that Bone Reaper's ever gotten. Oh, that's good. Oh god, Bone Reaper with Metamorphosis is sick. Who needs Spirit Harvester? When you've got one that has 10 toughness and provoke and doesn't kill your own things. Let's go. Show me your biggest idiot. Well, yes, I will turn that into a 1-1. I'm playing Araki Headhunter. Lines up all together, all too cleanly, doesn't it? God, that's so sick. I'm not going to attack them with this. I'm going to leave it on as much toughness as possible because I want it to stick around as long as possible. They could have Night Sorrowed it last turn if they had it, and they didn't, so... Oh god. My life total. Ow. This is fine. I could set up Vindicator here, so I can rush a Silithar into their face next turn. That seems like a good idea. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this here. And the Vindicator can go in this safe spot here. I don't care about the Araki dying. I just want to get it out of the way. Like, I could have moved it back, but it's not like it achieves anything, so I'm just going to ignore it. Oh, I did take the Earth Sphere. Cool. That's handy. I hope, I believe, I postulate that my opponent's extremely dead. But we'll see. The nice thing about this board state is... Oh no, Second Nova does do it. If they have Second Nova, they can clear both Bone Reaper and Colossus. But they still die to the rushed Silithar Elder. Lock Windrunner is kind of whatever. Although, notable that I can't... No, I can trade the Bone Reaper into the Provoke to make space, can't I? And most of the spawns from the... Most of the Dervish spawns here will be able to attack it as well, so... Bone Reaper can trade in, Dervish can finish it off, I can in a pinch, and then we've got attack from the Colossus plus Rush Minion. Consuming Rebirth the Lady Luck. I guess that's just a way to give it +1/+1, +2/+2. Oh, huh! I didn't realize that it would trigger off of itself. That's really cool. It got buffed by the... Where even is it? It got buffed by the Consuming Rebirth effect and also by its own original opening gambit trigger, which was still applying. That is cool. Right, anyway, my opponent is super dead. Let's just make that happen. So we get rid of this, make a little space, crunch. The War Beast is nearly perfect here, but it ain't. So let's make a big 8/8 and attack. That worked. Oh, I got a Magma Spirit Orb. Cool. Game 2. Oh, nice. Not going to complain of that. Excuse me while I replenish my coffee. This is all a bit awkward. We can play the natural selection on one, potentially. Oh, on two. But it kind of relies on them having played something worth killing. I think I might replace this for later. Ditto this. I'll keep this in case I need to play it on turn one. Looks like I do. Gazering it to trade is kind of alright. I can probably replace this Dietide Frenzy. Looking for something with more stats. Flash, okay. Take one, you fiend. Didn't I just replace you? Both. There are 2 copies of each, so it's not a huge surprise that I'm going to draw them, you know. I mean, Flash Bone Reaper is kind of good. We can do that next turn, potentially. It's tempting. But if they have natural, it just dies and then I'm embarrassed. Okay, so what are the lines here? I can take this tile, play Primordial Gazer for no value, and natural selection this. That's not really worth it. I can punch it, flash Bone Reaper, have a 2/8 in the middle of the board, lose to natural selection, kind of okay to Egg Morph. Otherwise, it's a 2/8 they probably can't deal with. I'm going to replace this and see if I get anything better. I don't. Well, I have no other place to make, so let's do it because it's funny. Ah, some other cards that would have been more sensible to play at this time. Never mind. Honestly, this is fine, because at least they don't have the Crystal Cloaker. Crystal Cloaker is pretty good. But the only card they have, yeah. Good. The Obelisk can act as natural selection protection next turn. Although I've got my own natural selection, so that's not very helpful. I mean, they're thinking, so hopefully they don't have it. Please give me something I can trade this blood. No, no. No! They replaced into it. I lose the game. Ah, it's not that bad. We're kind of even on cards, actually. I did spend the flash to play it, but I also... right, let's... I did spend the flash to play it, but I also killed their 2-drop at the same time. So it's kind of the same amount of mana and the same amount of cards. Just feels worse for me. Right, I sort of want to play some... I can replace this, right? The Metamorphosis acts as emergency removal. Dietide. Okay, I'll just play a Vet Silithar then and pass. I may as well attack them because I'm ahead on board. So I have access to the mana tile next turn. And if this doesn't die, the Dietide Frenzy is quite big. Or we can just, if they play a big minion, we can Metamorphosis. What have you got? Oh, no. Well, I mean, that's kind of fine. It's an even trade and they take damage. This does look like an opportunity to play an Ethereal Obelisk somewhere. Or maybe just the Mystic. Questions. We're going into that Mercantil turn. So how much do I want to get blown out by it? I guess the Mercantil doesn't actually kill the Obelisk. It'll kill this Flamewing, but that's not as big of a deal. Excuse me. The other thing is I actually really want to protect this Flamewing if I can. So maybe positioning the Obelisk here and the Flamewing here or vice versa is better. Because the Flamewing does die if they have a War Beast. But I still get a Dervish. could also just play a ton of healing mystics. That's kind of alright. This is a bit painful. I think we just make them have it. Like, this is a lot better against almost anything else. Young Flamewing with Dietide Frenzy is really, really sick. And actually a Dervish with Dietide Frenzy isn't terrible. This is 2 mana for a 3 damage AoE, right? It's pretty good. This hand is kind of garbage, though. Given that we're on 21 life and not, like, 10. Okay, that's not a Warbeast. We're in a good spot. I will be killing that with Dietide Frenzy. And then probably playing some Healing Mystics. Playing our Scout even better. Yeah, let's do the thing. This is why I wasn't that keen on the Storm Arrow thing, you know? Right, I'll be healing this. How much do I care about Warbeast? They didn't have it last turn. They might not have it now. If they draw a Warbeast and my Healing Mystic dies, do I actually care? No. I'd much rather, again, they didn't have it last turn, I'd much rather use it to block their position again. Although them moving away is not that bad. Oh, they've drawn one. I keep being like, oh, my opponent doesn't have the thing, and then they draw it, and then they have the thing. But I guess such is 2 draw. This is pretty good though, actually, because the Dervish can clear this without me having to spend resources on it. I just have to move out the way, which is a resource all of its own. But this is pretty good. So I think what I want to do is something like this. I will attack in with this. So I'm going to negative this behind it. Okay. Here is fine then. Like, I don't super care if they get a free kill on the egg. I've got an 8-8, they have to deal with that. It's literally the same size as their life total. We can meme with a fractal, except my opponent will be dead. Yes. Okay, well, we played into all their good cards and won anyway. Let's go. Oh, I'm loving these snappy accus. This is kind of alright. Iraqi plus NS is good. I could hold on to the Warbeast forever. If they play an Obelisk, this is strong. But if they play a 2-3, it's really weak though, so I should replace something. It's probably supposed to be this, but also it's Bacantor, and I kind of... Card will be good enough to offset my early... Any early failures, you know? I think I would just keep it. These 3-card opening hands really are brutal. What do they got? A Martyrdom and an Iridium Scale. Okay, that's... Both of those very notable. Trivian is not normally allowed good removal. Orb Weaver. They get to target it now. That's cute. I mean, I can just kill this. I don't really want a natural selection either of these. But I do need this mana tile to be protected. Oh yeah, punching that. They can't actually stand on this tile with anything, so I could play my Iraqi safely. They can obviously double spell. But what if they just don't have a card to follow up with extra damage? versus this dying for free. I think I like that more. I don't really mind them playing 2 cheap cards. I have a War Beast in my hand, so I can kind of push back against that, especially if these 1/2s just die on contact with me. Very strange place here. Okay, this is too many 6-drops, deck. This is too many 6-drops. Even if they are good, even if they will help me stabilize the board, I do need to play cards. Because I'm probably going to play out their entire hand with all the mana tiles. While I slowly punch the Orb Weavers. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Oh, Metamorphosis. So if they play anything good, we can kill it. And then afterwards, we've got the AoE minions to start locking down the game. I hope. Would have been nice to draw like a Veteran Silithar there instead of a Healing Mystic. It doesn't matter much. Oh. What would be really good here is Flash Reincarnation. Mystic. I'll just Metamorphosis this so I can get rid of it. Keep it simple, you know? I guess I just trade everything off. Oh, I did it wrong. I should have killed this one and then moved down. Killed the other one. But this is fine. Oh, now you show up. Maybe you lost turn, Veteran Silithar. Very helpful, very helpful. Well, board's even out. We've got a Mechanitor and a Bone Reaper, so we're in kind of a decent spot, hopefully. Especially if they just play more small things. Oh. Yeah, don't care about that. Equipment? What do they equip? Wildfire Ink. Well, Wildfire Ink sucks. It's true, but you know. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Oh, Bloodtail, that's nice. Get rid of the last charge on the Yank, even if they have to make me work for it. Even if they make me work for it, rather. Again, not the most effective War Beast, but like, it's 4 damage. It kills their thing. You know, they can go do this where they shoot it, but that's fine. Then I get to punch the Wildfire Ink off, and then they don't have a Wildfire Ink anymore. And I am ahead on cards otherwise. Hopefully, this play is... Well, I can either do Blood Tear, Alchemist, Vet Silithar, or I can just play a huge thing. We'll see what they force from me. Azahorn Shaman, at least. Damn, can I draw the other Bacanto? That would be so sick right now. Maybe minions only, so it doesn't kill this. So I do kind of need to get rid of it. But then if they're attached to a big provoke, maybe it doesn't matter. This is awkward, to be honest. Now making me work a little bit here. Don't love this. Don't love this. What's the line? I want to get rid of this Wildfire Ink. So yeah, second War Beast would obviously be the dream. We could potentially end up there next turn. So let's play 2 cards this turn. Try and dig our way there. I could Bone Reaper and attack something. But doing that to this is not very good. So I think what I would rather do is play this in a position where the Azahorn Shaman can't trade into it. Ping off the artifact. Sego. Vindicator is kind of good. Vindicator with Primordial Gazer is a really nice pairing. It's kind of okay. I mean, we're still ahead on cards in hand. But they've got 4, so it's not like we're... Oh, hello. Oh, no. There is another Metamorphosis in our deck for getting rid of this stuff. So we could end up there, but... That was a pretty big turn. That was a pretty big turn. Sandburrower... Might be attacked while at full health. So they just can't attack it. That's kind of funny. I mean, I have nothing to do here. But I can set up this Silithar Elder and start trying to make more Silithar Elders. That seems like a good idea. Who wins the Turtle War of Silithar Elder versus Albeast Sage? I'm going to move this down here in case of more Wildfire ranking. This is just going to stay where it is. Colossus. Also good for staring at each other from a great distance. This might just get martyrdomed, but we'll see. Better than it getting Dominate Willed. Okay, here they come. How many spells have you got? Oh, opponent of mine. And can I top deck Metamorphosis? This is a problem with these type of decks, and cards like Metamorphosis. Sometimes you have to just use them on curve, and then you end up needing them later. Like the Warbeast, maybe I shouldn't have Warbeasted there, but I think it's correct. I think getting rid of the Wildfire rank is worthwhile, and getting rid of the 4/3 is good as well. Got a Blood Tear, okay. It's 1 egg down. But them spending a card on the egg is good. Potentially, I can probably kill this Albeast Sage. Right. Oh, never mind. Again, if I draw Metamorphosis, we're in cash. We are in the absolute cash money. But as it is, it's looking dicey. No. Okay, we're fine. That's 2 cards they've spent on it. Oh, they marked them dead anyway. 30. I may be getting memed to death here. Kujata does nothing. Right, is there a way that I can try and kill my opponent before I lose? We've definitely reached that stage. Like, what can I do to try and take my opponent out of the game quickly, if anything? I can at least buy a little time, right? Bone Reaper can come here. Send this around the corner. I need to hide. Play this. Attack here. Draw 2. Give me Metamorphosis, please. Elucidator Frenzy is normally good, but maybe not in this board state. Because these things literally have 30 HP. But it is awkward for them to kill this on board. The Martyrdom is gone as well. 16 cards in the deck. We're getting closer to the point where... How do they have 24 cards in their deck? And I have 16 when we started on 34 each. Makes no sense. Is that a bug? It must be, right? Oh, that's bad. No, my Vindicator! I should have positioned it better. Alright, well, if I draw Metamorphosis now, it doesn't even do anything. Well, I guess it buys me a turn. It resets the buffs as well, doesn't it? So it's not nothing, but it's not much. That's Silithar. Okay, I am dead. Damn it! Draw all the cards in exactly the wrong order. Got punished by some greedy lines. But you know what happens. I think, you know, maybe there's a game, maybe there's an argument for not killing the Sand Howler with the Metamorphosis that turn. Sand Howler's kind of an annoying card because it makes the Mercantor, like Mercantor doesn't kill it. I guess I can attack it with the Mercantor. Doing nothing in Duelyst 2 is so bad though. Because you lose the card draws as well, so you lose the ability to dig for future answers as your hand fills up. I literally had nothing else to do. Just a handful of 6-drops, right? Music is suddenly silent. Alright, we've got a long queue. So I think let's talk about game recommendations so that the queue gets faster the moment I start getting into anything. What have I picked up recently? Recently, I have started playing Terra Nil. It's by a developer called Free Lives, who are a South African team who made Broforce and Genital Jousting, two wildly different games, both from each other and from Terra Nil, with a sort of underlying theme of social commentary. And Terra Nil's kind of no different. It's sort of a reverse city builder in the sense that you start with an empty landscape and you fill it with buildings. But the goal is not to make a city. The goal is to restore life, both initially plant life and cleaning the water and things like that to this empty wasteland, and then eventually animals and improving the weather and things. And then at the end, you're going to pick up all the stuff you built and leave, and just leave it as this pristine wilderness that can sort of take care of itself in the future. It's obviously very relevant to, current pressing environmental concerns, in a very beautiful way. Like the game is, I wouldn't call it like a, oh, hello. The game's not like preachy or anything. It's not that sort of thing. It's just like a very beautiful exploration of like custodianship and care over, contrasted with the exploitation that games normally position you. You go to a place and you take its resources for yourself, take its land and use that to build stuff. And that's fun. Like it's fun to do that in games. There's nothing wrong with it. But there are definitely overlaps between that and like historical colonialism and things. And it's kind of interesting to have a game that positions itself as a counterpoint to that, both mechanically and sort of emotionally. Plus, it is beautiful. Like, I cried at the trailer. The Terra Nil really like gets me in the heart. I worry a lot about the environment and about climate change and stuff, like as do a lot of people. Get very anxious about it. And there's something incredibly beautiful and comforting and soothing about being able to reverse it. Just, to fix something that, you might be worried is in a lot of danger right now. Yeah, Terra Nil is fantastic. Really well recommended. I love it. Right, let's kill a Gorehorn, shall we? Let's get rid of something. I feel like this planar scout isn't going to help anything. But probably neither is this young Flamewing. It's going to do nothing to... Oh, Blood Tear's not bad. That's nice, actually, yes. Okay, so... let's come up here. Buff this up. Trade with the Gorehorn. Bit of a shame that it is trading. Maybe I should have like killed. Maybe I should have gone here, killed this blood tiered. Oh, I can't blood tier without the mana tile. I'm a fool. I miscounted. This is fine. It's not fine. Everything's terrible. Do I just use this now to take this mana tile then? How important is it that my opponent doesn't get it? No, I need to not run out of cards. This is fine. Like, we can blood tier this next turn. Anyway, or punch it. But they'll probably trade it with the Primordial Gazer anyway and take the tile. Yeah, no, I should have done that differently. I, for some reason, thought I had enough mana to do everything. Maybe I forgot the Blood Tier Alchemist costs 2. A fact which continuously trips me up. My opponent, I think, has messaged me. I might just respond while they're thinking. Oh, thank you, Steph, if you're watching this. Appreciate it. Also, Steph, if you're watching this, I haven't misplayed this game, so enjoy your equity in this match. My defense, I was distracted talking about a really cool game. Right. Well, at least I can punch this, that's good. Oh my goodness. This kind of works out in our favor in a way, because there is a lot of healing in this deck. We just need to get to the point where we can use it. This Planar Scout might actually come in handy here. Let's see. Colossus. Colossus is pretty good. I could put it here, or just next to my opponent. Yeah, it's pretty hard for them to kill. So I'm going to 10 this turn, and I haven't drawn any healing. But I don't have a lot of options otherwise. This dies to ping next turn. I can't body block it, prevent it from hitting me now. I think the Colossus is the highest upside play. If I don't just die... Oh, that's a good draw as well. If I don't just die... you know, this Colossus is very threatening. They have to deal with it. Oh, I should check. Aspect of the Worm. That's very scary, actually. I mean, not super relevant on this board, but it is scary. I guess they could use it to turn this into a worm and hit this and go lightning it or something, but you know what? I would be okay with that. I hope they do that. That sounds great. Spend your entire turn killing this Colossus. Oh, that's promising. They've got a ranged unit. Maybe I can draw some answer to it. This Widowmaker, I can kill it with Bone Reaper if I can get in range. I can't. Planar Scout might be useful, who knows? Okay. Game started out rough, but I'm exceedingly not dead yet, which is quite nice. That is fine, you do that. Running away, that's sensible, sensible. Still taking a bunch of damage here, but we have the Bone Reaper to stabilize us a little bit. Only 3 cards in hand, so they might not just burn us out yet. Blaze Hound is fine. Just play Bone Reaper and run away, right? What does this do? Natural selection. Interesting. Okay, so there is an argument for spending more cards so I can try and draw more cards so I can find healing. That would argue in favor of Blood Tier Alchemist plus Vet Silithar. If I play the Bone Reaper, it gets damage in on these two but doesn't really do much else. The other option is like an Alchemist Planar Scout Natural Selection, the Araki Headhunter. I don't think that's particularly exciting. I'm a bit worried about getting Juxed, but the Bone Reaper doesn't prevent that either. So yeah, I think we just run away here. This obviously comes forward. Blood Tier this down. Body block. Cross our fingers. Still no healing. There are 4 cards in my deck that heal. Come to me. I need you please. They do still only have the 3 cards. Aspect of the Worm Phoenix Fire is lethal. That's pretty scary. I mean, we can Metamorphosis next turn to try and just clear some stuff away. They do only have 3 cards. So their replaces and their sort of defensive options last turn what kind of pressure. Okay, Hierarchy going into the corner is maybe a good sign. I guess that's probably another juxtaposition, right? I'm pretty okay with them using the juxtapositions on the Colossus instead of killing me. Like, the juxing the Hierarchy is not too scary compared to the Blaze Hound. 4 wins me. Oh no. I'm dead, aren't I? There's a Jux, yeah. They've only got 1 card left. So they need 4 damage out of hand, essentially. Okay, they don't have it yet. This Metamorphosis might be necessary, and I can also natural the 4 Winds Magus in the process. Sounds quite good. Flash. What does that do for me? I'm actually not sure. Nothing yet, I think. Yeah, we're gonna meta so that I can kill this. Like that. That must, absolutely must go away. I am in no mood to be attacking this 1/1 myself. How do I position most safely? I think I just need to be an absolute coward. I've got a Planar Scout for positioning purposes, so I can like put a Bone Reaper wherever I want next turn, that sort of thing. My opponent still has 3 cards. We've drawn another meta, that's kind of good. Oh, that's not a good sign. I'm dead, aren't I? Where's all my healing? Come on. Where were you? No! Stop! God damn it. Yeah, that was fairly effective. Lots of juxtapositions. My only mistake. Although I didn't really get punished for it. Like, I feel like my opponent didn't do that much with the 5 mana turn, if I remember correctly. But I was hoping to get the 3 wins on that deck. It did seem maybe good enough. I don't know. Perhaps it was just a little too clunky. That's not bad. I think that's the second time I've not made the 3 wins in my runs so far. Which, like, fair enough. That deck was pretty crude in terms of its curve. And the, having to spend single turns playing interaction. We did have lots of turns where we could have drawn something and didn't. Like, we could have drawn the Metamorphosis in the Vitruvian game. We could have had the second Warbeast that one turn. We could have drawn Healing in the Songhai game. We probably would have won then. If the Colossus gets to connect. Well, no, I guess we probably need quite a lot of healing. We'd need the Earth Sphere or multiple Healing Mystics. Because they did have the Spiral technique in the end. I will say, I was very impressed with the Rock Pulverizer play. I think I always underrate that card in specifically Songhai decks, because it allows you to just pin your opponent down for like a couple turns. Even if it costs a card, so that they take more damage from your other stuff is quite good. So that was well played by staff there. Right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you next time. Well, I have to pay gold for my run. Sad times. We broke the streak. But, that was fun. Those games were interesting. And some wacky stuff happened. So, all good for the content. See you next time, everybody.